What's up, rock stars? It's Rox coming to you today with a review for Power Book 2 Ghost Season 1 Episode 4. So let's get to it, shall we? Alright, you guys, so the show opens with Auntie telling Tariq exactly how the rules go. You stick to these rules and we won't have no problems. The biggest rule is make sure you always get cash, keep a low profile. Okay, he can do both of those. He is actually on his way to a meeting with Mr. Stern, or so we think. All right, when he gets off the phone with Auntie, he walks into an office and yeah, not meeting with Mr. Stern, but actually meeting with Stern's husband. Surprise, surprise. Okay, and he's young, you know, he looked like he has some ideas of his own. Him and Tariq look like they are meeting up on the same wavelength when Tariq tells him about an app that he's interested in, a tutoring app for the campus. The kids will be able to use it. Okay, we using all kind of code language and, you know, innuendo and looking at each other, you know, slickly. Stern's husband is here for it. Okay, and we know that this app is going to be one where drugs are sold. I'm assuming that Mr. Stern's young tender knows that as well. He gets 5% of the sale. Yeah, it's all good. And of course, Mr. Stern will be none the wiser. So when Tariq leaves there, he gets a call from his dear mama, Tasha. Tariq, you got to be careful. You got to be careful. People are out there going to get you. Who you working for? Tariq says, don't worry about it, mama. I got it. You don't need to know. Okay, well, you know what? Ghost and Tommy hid a bunch of guns all over New York. You need to go and find them. I'm going to send you the list of where they are. Make sure that you go and get one. So after he gets off the phone with Tasha, you guys, he's back on campus. You know what? Tariq is a busy man. Does he even have a fucking car, you guys? Anyway, in class, before he gets there, we see Professor Reynolds in Professor Whiteman's class, and he's telling them about the next book that they're reading, you know, Prince Machiavelli, okay? And he's talking about, you know, the book, what they can expect, all of this. Professor Milgram comes in, okay? It's a tag team effort here, and tells them about a competition that's going to be in place, all right? They do what they need to do, you know, and compete and win. You get to graduate 3 years instead of 4. You also get a really great internship at DC, much sought after. Okay, and this internship is in DC. And light-skinned Keisha, y'all didn't know that was her. But anyway, light-skinned Keisha was just like, girl, talking to Lauren. Girl, ain't that where your man at? Bitch, you better shoot your shot. Okay. Oh, Tariq overhears that. Oh, so you got a man in DC? You know, she was just like, well, I mean, I didn't need for LSK to bust me out like that, but I mean, I guess what else can she say? They don't understand why anybody would want to graduate early. Okay, LSK is having the time of her life. I said, girl, you better. I'm proud of our girl. Okay, anyway. After class is out, Lauren goes up and talks to Professor Reynolds. You know, she wants to get more information on, you know, this competition and, you know, the fellowship and all of that. And he says, yeah, of course. Okay, kind of looking like he gonna drool at her. I said, God, Reynolds, can you at least act like you ain't trying to fuck this girl? Of course, Professor Milgram is over listening. But that's what she's doing, you guys. She's ear hustling, and she says, well, you know, can we meet together and possibly talk about it, you know, over dinner? And he was just like, yeah, we can do that. Okay. He was like, well, where are you thinking? Like off campus? Or she said, oh yeah, at my parents' house. Slick ass nigga with the wayward dick. No, we not doing nothing with Lauren. Oh yes, of course, your parents' house. Of course. I was about to tell Professor Milgram, girl, they all after your man, but it looks like Lauren did not have that idea in mind. He says, you know what, maybe you should invite Professor Milgram and invite another student, you know, for optics. And then Tariq overhears him and he says, I'll come. Professor Reynolds don't look like he really wanted Tariq to come, but okay. So now we got, you know, all three of them coming to old girl's house. Now let's jump over to Auntie. All right. Auntie is talking to these old clout chaser niggas, the ones that's all over social media that's giving them all kind of problems, okay? In a badass fur coat. I said, Mary girl, you better do that. I know that was from your personal stash, bitch. Anyway, yeah, her and Kane, you know, we got to put down the hammer, all right? Y'all don't need to be all over social media. The block is hot. Y'all got the people after us. And the guy was like, well, you just mad because we doing things different than the way you do it. And she was like, excuse me, you work for me, nigga. Okay, don't forget it. I'm the boss around here. What I say goes. When she and Kane are walking away, I thought actually that was pretty good. You know, they got away without an ass beating. Or at least we thought they did, because one of them gonna say, oh, puta. And she turned around, she said, what? Say that to my face. That y'all, he only get poo out. The next thing we know, Kane jump up on him and honey beat his ass right there in the alley. When his boys try to help him, she was just like, I wouldn't do that if I was you. And honey, when I tell you Kane beat the brakes off him, I was just like, are you gonna kill him? Like, how many times you gonna hit the nigga in his head? But after he's done, you know, oh, Auntie, she is proud of Kane. You know, I can always count on you. You did so good today, Kane. So they going back home. You know, the kids are talking, Drew and Diane and Kane in the other room, you know, and Auntie, you guys, she's just incredibly a fucking Debbie Downer. I'm just like, why the fuck don't you lighten up? I mean, do you smile? I mean, you know, I hear y'all talking about me. What y'all talking about? Girl, relax. The very first episode, I thought maybe she was a good time, but no, not exactly. Anyway, she tells them that they're going to be working with Tariq. And Kane was like, that old square ass nigga, no, we don't need to be working with him. So when they start to object, you know, Kane trying to say something, she cut him off. Okay, you is the muscle nigga. We don't, nothing intellectual, please. Drew, what you think? Kane was like, it don't matter what he think. This ain't a good idea. Like I said, you the muscle. We don't ask your opinion. Drew, what do you think, boy? Diane, what you think? Well, they say, well, let's see how it all goes. Okay, well, she tells Drew, you know what, going up to that campus and see, you know, what Tariq is all about. You know, keep a low profile. You know, Kane was like, let me go. She was like, nigga, you is not Ivy League. You ain't even community college. You ain't going on that campus so we all can get blown out. No, we gonna send Drew. You know, even Diane said, let her go. She was like, girl, I ain't letting you go up there after you pulled that slick shit with your daddy. Talking about you want to go to school and all. No, give me everything you got anyway. No, you're not going. And damn it, Auntie has spoken. And speaking of Tariq back at campus, you know, Mel Gibson, he is just excited about, you know, the prospects of making all this money. Will you calm down, please? Once he get him calm and listening, he tells them about the app, how it's going to work. You know, they're going to have the app for tutoring. People can either get on it if they really need tutoring, and then if they really need some drugs, you know, they're going to get the premium. All right, and it's going to be code words. So for math, it's going to be weed, you know, uppers will be chemistry or something, and downers will be, you know, like economics or something. All right, so yeah, that's how it's going to work. We got this app going live. Okay, talking about we're going to try to keep a low profile. I was just like, an app on a campus, you don't think that that's pretty high profile? I mean, maybe it's just me. But yeah, the app is in action. And just like that, you guys, they are in the money. They are making money, honey. That app is real. It is definitely a no-brainer. Okay, Tariq, a smart ass, and came up with something good here. My stomach is queasy thinking about it because I was just like, are you sure this is a good idea? But I mean, if he say so, I guess. So yeah, he's getting all this money, right? Now he got enough money to go pay Davis. So he goes and meets with Davis and Paula, the investigator, and he was just like, what am I paying you for exactly? I mean, you doing mock trials and shit. We can't afford nothing like that. He was like, listen, we did it so that we know for sure we can't put your lying ass mama on the stand. It needed to be done. Tariq was like, put me on the stand then. And he was like, no, because they know that kids lie for their parents. No, we not doing that either. Boy, please let me be the lawyer that I am. Well, Tariq, you know, he listens to reason. He put a big ass wad of money on the I was just like, how we just paying the lawyer like this? You know, he put the money down there and my eyebrow was raised. Of course, it's raised by Paula, the investigator, too. And when he leaves out, Paula's just like, listen, you don't think it's strange that he's paying you with money? Oh, Davis can't worry about that, okay? All they paid to do is be a lawyer. You know, he don't know where the money coming from. He don't care. You know, if he was getting wired in money, it probably would be from a shady LLC, okay? But now that we getting this money like this, listen, he can't worry nothing about it. That is not his job. But Paula, the investigator, is just like, it is a problem. Now in jail, we see Tasha talking to abortion pill, and you know, Tasha's all paranoid, like that guard, she following me. And you know, abortion pill was just like, girl, you gonna be real obvious, you know, you staring her down more than she's staring us down. But yeah, Tasha, she don't like it, and abortion pill was like, that look like that's a personal problem, honey. All right, Tasha don't know that the guard is not watching her. Okay, that ain't Lorenzo's boy. The other guy is. But that's neither here nor there. Davis goes and talks to the judge again with Overly Dedicated. He knows Overly Dedicated is doing too much on this case. He wants to get him recused or possibly thrown off the case or even the whole case dropped. Now, jumping back over to Drew. Drew goes down there and busts in on Tariq. You know, he was like, oh, so your auntie sent you down here to spy on me, see how I'm handling things. You know, Drew was just like, maybe, maybe not. While they in there talking, here come Mel Gibson. Oh, I got some ice cream for both of us. You know, then he sees Drew and he was just like, who's that? Okay, is he the plug? I said, listen. Okay, you're going to have a talk with Mel Gibson. He is exactly way too excited about this whole thing. Who says these things? You know you doing something illegal, fool. So, you know, Tariq was just like, this is Zeke's cousin, and we was about to go. Okay, so they step out and leave. Tariq goes to class. He was just like, you ain't gonna want to be in this class. It's boring and all. But the teacher, you know, she comes in. Oh, Tariq, who is your friend? This is an all-inclusive space. He can come in, sit in on the class today. You know, everybody find a partner. You know, this is an art class or something. So Tariq goes and sits down over there. You know, him trying to send Drew off did not work. Honey, well, anyway, Drew goes and finds this tall basketball player. You know, he was just like, oh, do you have a partner? And the guy was like, no. And child, they was googly eyeing each other and everything. I said, Drew, you is falling off the case now. I know, you know, you think old boy is cute and all, but come on now, Drew. But anyway, because he is an artist, you know, he draws the boy. We didn't know that. Okay, Drew says he has an Instagram, you know, he keeps it private, you know, just to kind of show his progress. Well, Mr. Basketball Player says he would like to, you know, he would like to follow Drew as well, you know. So can I get, you know, your IG handle? And, well, of course you can, Basketball Player. Now, jumping back to Overly Dedicated, he's in his office. He's fussing at first chair, you know, John Mock. And he's telling him, like, you need to tell them that you forced me to take this case. Like, they really gonna do that, dummy. Okay, he's frustrated because first chair don't care about Overly Dedicated, hangs up on him. You know, the investigator comes in and Overly Dedicated was just like, I'm so fucking tired of this. Like, please tell me you got some information on how Tariq is paying Davis. Well, they don't have that information. Well, you need to get that information because we need to be able to tell how he's getting this whole thing done. While he in there talking to the investigator, oh, you know what, we find out that he got a real mouthy niece. Okay, I don't even remember what the child's name is. But anyway, Niecy come with the police. You know, she was trying to buy some weed in Central Park. She was just like, it's a plant, dumbass. Like, if you would have ever just, you know, one of those kinds. A Karen, child, a Karen. So, you know, they were like, if she wasn't your niece, we would have took her ass to Rikers Island. Oh, well, you know, Overly Dedicated. Oh, thank you. Don't worry about this. So when he gets them out, shoos them out, he tells Niecy, you know what, you can't keep doing this. You know, just because I'm doing this don't mean that I can keep saving you. You know, she was just like, oh, whatever. I got a party I'm going to. I need to have some drugs, you know. And he was just like, you have to stop. I'm going to tell your mother. Oh, no, please don't tell her. You know, please, I'll do whatever. I'll even make them stop calling you Nancy. I suppose, you know, Overly Dedicated is a transgender. Isn't it something that only took us 7 fucking seasons to know that? Anyway, he's thinking about her and her age and drugs and, you know, campuses and all of this and parties, and he figures, you know what, maybe I can use you. You know, maybe you can do a favor for me. And we don't know what that favor is yet because he has to go back to the judge's chambers. And, you know, Overly Dedicated and Davis are now in there. Davis is questioning, extremely annoying. Oh, and she got a whole lot to say, talking about all of the shit that Overly Dedicated did. You know, the whole phone stealing situation with Terry Silva's body and, you know, him making Tate lie and you know, try to put the pressure on him to lie on James St. Patrick and all of that, you know. And of course, the judge is listening like, ooh, Overly Dedicated, you know, you was bad news. But of course, Overly Dedicated turns it around and was just like, I was bad and so the fuck was you. Okay, didn't you force Andre Coleman and you promised him, you know, that you was gonna get him pretty much a free ticket? She was just like, you know, I did not do it. Yeah, you bad, I'm bad. Okay, if you had such a problem with me putting pressure on Tate, then why you didn't stop me? You know, and the judge was just like, you know what, you right. Okay, the judge still got a good eye on Overly Dedicated, but she was just like, okay, extremely annoying. You was wrong too, and I'm gonna send the transcripts from all this to your supervisor. Get you on. So when she leaves, you know, Overly Dedicated act like it's a win. Well, it's not quite a win yet. Okay, judge wants to talk to Tate, Councilman Tate. And, you know, of course, Councilman Tate, we see him talking to DNC and First Chair, and he was just like, I can't do this shit. I can't testify. I don't testify. And they was like, yeah, we know. DNC got a whole another idea for him. You know, he want them to make it go away. But they tell him, no, you gonna lie. This is the story that you gonna tell me. He said, you don't understand. I don't testify. They was like, and you don't understand. We don't give a fuck. You testifying today. Tariq looks like he took, you know, Tasha's advice in the heart, went to some laundromat, was able to get one of the stashed guns. He gets a call from Paula. He ignores that. He gets a text from Lauren. Okay, dinner tonight at 7 o'clock. Don't be late. You know, her parents are sticklers for that. Mel Gibson calls and says that the app is blowing up and you know what, they need more product. Well, fuck. I don't have any more product. Why is it blowing up like that? Because it's a campus and it's a whole bunch of drug addict kids on the damn campus that want these drugs, Tariq. You didn't think that one all the way through. He's like, fuck. All right, I'll be there in a minute. You know, the man, like I said, all over the place, trying to put that fire out. But then he notices that Paula is actually there on campus. What are you doing here? She was just like, they about to question Councilman Tate Davis and overly dedicated are. And he was like, oh, we can't trust him. And she was just like, well, if you would answer your damn phone, then maybe we wouldn't have gone down that road. But listen, Tariq, I got a bone to pick with you. We can't be getting paid in cash, okay? This is a big time firm. This is a big time case. It's a lot of attention on this. You know, he said, I thought lawyers like to be paid in cash. Usually, maybe so, but not in this case. The shit got to be wired. We got to be above board on this one, okay? Where are you getting this money from, Tariq? Oh, Tariq, you know, he turns on the, well, you know, my grandmother, you know, I'm stealing it from her. You know, oh, poor Tariq. He's trying to save his mama. All right, Paula was just like, well, you know what? We can help you. I can help you. And he was just like, I don't need nobody's help. So now he got to think on his toes. So you know what? He talks to Bash. And Bash was like, all right, Black Steve Jobs, I see that app is really doing it for you. And Tariq says, look, I need to change it up. I need the money half wired, half cash. And he was just like, oh, it sounds like an emergency. Okay, so my 15% cut will be still the same. He said, I thought it was 5. He said, yeah, but you sound like you don't have any other options right now. Okay, so yeah, 15, and Tariq is like, fine. Now, back to Drew. Child, we see him in the apartment with basketball player. Long story short, they about to get busy. I said, Drew, you was completely off the fucking case. See, that's why Auntie can't send you to do shit, okay? You think with your dick. Child, they kissing and all up on each other and all of this, right? His phone rings. He was like, oh, you know, that's my mom. I got to catch that. But it's not his mom. It's Tariq. Okay, 5 missed calls. All right. He was just like, oh, okay, mama's boy. So he goes in the bathroom and he calls Diane instead on her phone. And Auntie at the house is just like, Diane, come here. Okay, I send Drew up to the school to do something for me, and he's calling you on your phone instead of calling me. Answer this, put it on speaker. Let me hear what he say. All right, so she answers, and he says, Diane, I'm not with Tariq right now. He needs more product. Okay, can you take it to him? And Diane says, okay. So now Auntie ain't got no choice. But girl, your old ass can't go up there. And we already know Kane can't do it either. So Diane is all her options. Don't you do nothing crazy. Okay, get in and out. Nah, I'm not playing with you, girl. You know, Auntie likes to keep a real tight rope on the kids. So Diane goes to Tariq's and, you know, she was just like, hey, she said, where's Drew? He said, I was going to ask you the same thing. Why Drew spying on me? You know, he's smart. He know what Auntie doing. She said, well, she didn't want her to come down there, okay, with the product. She didn't want Kane to come down there. He said, well, why she didn't want you to come? And she was like, because she knew I was going to do this. And then here go Diane, you know, she kissing up on him and everything. All right. And it looks like we about to do something crazy. I said, Auntie ain't gonna like this. But then there's a knock at the door. All right. And it's Drew. He come in and he was just like, what you guys doing? You know, they looking like, you know, they get caught at something. Nigga, they didn't do as much as you did, obviously, with your old badussy smelling ass. Did you even take a fucking shower? So they drop off the product. Tariq was like, let me give you the money. Okay, then he look over at Diane, Drew does. And you know what? They both got a little secret. Tee-hee-hee. Now, back to Davis. He brings in Tate, and child, long story short, Tate lies. All right, makes it seem like overly dedicated did not make him lie about James St. Patrick. And you know what? James St. Patrick was a above board, you know, upstanding citizen, you know, makes James St. Patrick just a glowing pillar of the community. He said that Tasha was the one that threatened his life. And you know what? His life was always almost taken. If his brother wasn't there to save him, you know, he don't know what could have happened. So, you know what? He clears James. He puts it all on Tasha. And he does what DNC and First Chair want him to do. So, you know, when he leaves, you know, Overly Dedicated was just like, oh, well. So the judge dismisses him. We're going to still take this thing to case. To court, and you know what, Davis walks up on him. He says to Overly Dedicated, "You a lying ass nigga." I was just like, oh, I was turned on a little bit. Was I the only one? Now back at the house, you know, Drew, he's in the shower, and you know, Auntie come in there, you know, weight of the world on her shoulders. Bitch, will you lighten up? Anyway, she come in there. What did Tariq say? Well, Tariq knew that you had sent him to spy on me. I mean, sent me to spy on him. He didn't find anything else. She was like, good. That means that he keeping a low profile. He was like, the money's in my bag. Okay, so she goes to get the money, and then she also sees a drawing, you know, artwork, you know, of the basketball player's chest with the number tattoo and all of that, you know, hand gently feeling on his titty, and she was like, Lord, here this boy go. She was just like, let me flip it on him. You know, your daddy thought that you was soft, you know, but I know that you smart and you strong, you know, and you can't trust these people out here, Drew. Okay, I know you think that you can, but you can't, all right? Your family is the only one that's going to take care of you, all right? So make sure you always come back home. I said, oh, that Auntie is a fucking drag, ain't she? You want these kids to stay with you forever? Oh, Lorenzo, you better come get your girl. Now, it's dinner. Professor Milgram gets there, and, you know, she's happy to be there. She's admiring the artwork. And then when she walks in, she sees that Professor Reynolds is there. You know, she kind of looks like, I was like, didn't she know? She was over there ear hustling. I mean, why you acting like you didn't know he was going to be there? You know, so she all annoyed. We see Tariq trying to make it there. Of course, he running late as usual because Tariq is a man of many places. So he runs, try to get some flowers. Child, the damn flower shop is closed. Oh, well, he got to show up not only late, but empty-handed. When Lauren opens the door, you know, she was just like, well, so nice of you to join us. I said, well, how late is he? Child, he come in there, and while they finishing eating dinner, it's bones and shit on the table. I was like, nigga, what you come for? This, I didn't act like I had an accident and was in the hospital or something. But you showing up this late for? That shit is insulting. And the mother was just like, oh, I see he on CP time. Y'all don't know, Tariq is a very busy man. Oh, Professor Reynolds, he tries to wax poetical about the term, you know, how it's all used. And will you please shut up? The daddy gonna tell Tariq, yeah, Tariq, we've been following your unfortunate mama and all her legal problems. It's good that you got Davis working on the case, though. You know, because he's a really good lawyer. Reynolds was just like, oh, yeah, that Davis, you know, this is old Sir Fuckalot's bestie. Don't you know, Davis? Professor Milgram? She was just like, yes, she does. But you know what? And he is a great lawyer, but sometimes it's not a win for him is not always a win for his client. So please be careful, Tariq. So that was some helpful advice. Reynolds, oh, you know, Professor Milgram, she's always helping people, like that dumbass vigil that she had for Tariq, you know, hardy har. She's irritated that he says that. Well, Lauren's daddy was like, Professor Reynolds, when is the next book coming? She was like, oh, honey, the book already came. It came and went. You know, some of these publishers, they don't even help you out. So, child, it's obvious that these two have come to argue. Okay, they one-upping each other left and right. Lauren was like, I think we have Davis's book around here somewhere. Tariq, can you help me find it? Okay, let's get a little break from all of this shit. So, yeah, they go in the other room. He's looking at a picture of her brother. It looks like an older picture. So he was like, does your brother ever come to these dinners? She was like, no, because my parents are so damn pressure filled that, you know, they done drove the poor boy, you know, insane. He's in some mental facility now because he couldn't deal with the pressure. That's why I'm trying to get the hell up out of here by my freedom. Okay, that's why she's trying to graduate early and all of that. He said, you sound just like my dad, you know, always gotta, you know, trying to be free and do. And she was just like, you don't never talk about him. You know, he said he got secrets. And she was like, well, you're not the only one with secrets. And he was just like, well, what's your secret? And child, her secret is that she want to bust a slob with old Tariq. Okay, I was just like, oh, Tariq, not only are you a man of many places, you are a man of many women. this season. You know, the jury's still out on Milgram. So while they kissing, there's a doorbell ring. Then next thing we hear her mother, "Oh, Lauren, there's somebody here to see you." I said, "Oh, let me guess, that's DC." All right, and he comes in, you know, when Tariq and Lauren go back out there, and he's all, you know, brown nosing the family. "Oh, you know, my beautiful mother-in-law, you know, oh, you know, I'm so glad to be here." He looks at Tariq and he was just like, "And you must be the high schooler that Lauren is, you know, mentoring." Not exactly. As a matter of fact, he was just about to fuck your girlfriend in the office. Probably not, y'all. But you'll never know these days. But you know who is fucking in the office? Milgram and Reynolds go back to the office and they arguing. Okay, about all of the shit that just happened it's just way too much sexual tension between the two. Why don't y'all just be together? Okay, and then that way it won't be a problem. You know, she tell him that she heard him fucking the girl in the office the other day, and that, you know, he trying to fuck Lauren and under her parents' nose. Like, how sick are you? And he was just like, "Oh, you just upset, you know, you still want to be with me and you hate yourself for it, you know, maybe I hate myself and, you know, both of us for it as well." You know, so he throws some game on her, you know, and then now she feeling something for him again, and she closed the door. Child, here they are, like I said, fucking in the office. I said, "Do we ever fuck in the bed, Professor Reynolds? Do we get in the bed somewhere?" He got many miles on that fucking office. The favor that overly dedicated needs to do, you go and spy on Tariq and up at the party at the campus. How overly dedicated knows it's a party, I don't know, but isn't it always a party on campus? So she goes there. You know, she got a picture of Tariq. You know, she needs to go and talk to him. Well, not talk to him, just keep an eye on him. But she gets off the phone with Overly Dedicated and she goes and talks to him. "You have bad energy around you. Has anybody ever told you that?" He said no and walked off. I was like, I'm liking Tariq more and more these days, you guys. Mel Gibson is there talking to her though. And so you know what, Tariq got a plan. So he goes upstairs and he tells the drug dealer, "You know what, oh boy, down there in the pink, he got some drugs." And you know, drug dealer was like, "What?" Okay, "Oh no, you ain't coming up on his shit." So he go down there and get into a fight with Mel Gibson. And you know, Tariq is he's just as tickled as can be. I didn't know exactly what he was doing at first, but then I was just like, "Oh, he's taking out the competition. Okay, Tariq, I see you." So you know, they break up the fight. I guess the police come and take him off or whatever. And Nisi, you know, because she got to keep up with the whole look, she takes a selfie of herself. And in the background, there is Tariq. All right. So, I mean, I guess that helps Overly Dedicated. Not quite sure how, but I guess. I forgot to tell you guys that Lauren sent Tariq a text message while he was out there talking about, you know, "Can we talk?" I said, "Girl, if you don't go be with fucking Carlton and leave this boy alone." Move it on along, child. Now we see Bash. It looks like he has wired the money to Paula, like he said that he would. All right, getting that 15%. Why is Paula in the bed with my man Davis? I said, oh. Y'all know I love me some Method Man, child. I was not expecting that. I thought that he was gonna get with Tamika, child. I mean, he could still get with Tamika, but I was just like, oh. This real noise, y'all. You know, he ain't all cut up and chiseled. You know, he grown man, a little flab and shit. It ain't nothing wrong with it, y'all. Anyway, after they finish, she notices that she gets the wire into the account. Oh, imagine that. You know, you still ain't wondering where the money came from. You know, he's like, "Nope, that's not my job." And she says, "Oh, it did come from a shady LLC." Okay, I guess you know what you're talking about. Okay, well, that's all he can't worry himself about it. It's wired. Now, you should be happy. You know, he getting dressed. He about to go. She said, "Don't forget your ring." I said, "Oh, is Davis married? Never noticed a ring." You know, he tried to say something. I already know what this is. He comes over there, kisses her. "Thanks for being so understanding." Then he says, "You know, we gotta figure out, you know, what we can do to get back at Overly Dedicated, you know, and have, you know, him thrown off this case. You know, they got a bright idea." Ding. Next child, we see Tamika getting flowers. Okay. "Oh, thank you," at her house. "Who are these from?" All right. You just been served. Okay. It's a subpoena up in them damn flowers. See, if she was getting her some DICK on the regular, she wouldn't be all excited about these damn flowers. Then we see Tariq going back to campus the next day. Drug dealer and got kicked out for punching a Western. Tariq's plan worked. When he gets into class, you know, Lauren goes and sits next to him. He's like, "Why you sit next to me?" And she was just like, I just wanted to say sorry, about what happened. He was like, girl, don't worry about it. I mean, everybody got a whole bunch of options, right? But that don't mean that I'm going to stop trying to pursue you. And I'm not backing out of the fellowship either. She was like, oh, okay. She like a man that's going to challenge, all right? Well, while he's talking to her, his text message goes off. And she was just like, oh, who's Diane? And he was like I just told you, options, baby. We all got them. I was like, child, I laughed out loud when he said, I said, okay, Tariq, you really trying it. You trying it. Back at the jail, we see Tasha get a picture of Tariq, Oh, Tariq did good for us, made us a whole bunch of money. That's what the text message say. Look like he done earned one more day above ground, boy. That Tasha got the bubble guts. I said, girl, you stressed, huh? And then lastly, we see Overly Dedicated get a picture of that Niecy took at the party, with Tariq in the background. And, he blows the picture up big and makes sure he's just looking at Tariq. I said, so now Overly Dedicated is now obsessed, not with James and Ghost, now it's Tariq. Something fucking wrong with Nancy. All right, you guys, that is it. Let me get off of here. Make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm itsrox. The channel is for itsrox. Everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, rock stars. Bye.